So understanding stress and finding balance. I think, boy, when I look back on this last year, we all have stuff. Some of you know some of the stuff I've been going through. And it's really about finding balance to make everything continue to work and move forward, because this pandemic, if nothing else, is really, it's given us time to work on ourselves. And it's also given us time to maybe notice things that, uh, prioritize things a little bit differently. I mean, there's definitely some positive things I think that have come out of the pandemic. But listen, before we get started, this is a reminder more for me than anyone else. And I remember doing this lecture in a classroom, just to remind everyone to just get balanced in your own space. But I think it's even more important as we're all zoomed out to just sit. My legs were all crossed, but uncross your legs and plant your feet and take a deep breath, circle your shoulders, just find a little balance before we even get started. Straighten up your back. I do a lot better when I take some deep breaths. So balanced living. Balanced living means considering all aspects of your life, relationships, work, fitness, health, and emotional well-being. If you're not mindful of your balance, stress creeps in. And so how does stress affect you? So there's definitely short and long-term effects, and it affects your mind, your body, emotions, and behavior. And so some of the immediate effects of stress. And so I want to tell you something that I went through, and some of you actually went through this with me when I was a nurse in cardiac rehab at UC Davis. We had it's been years now, but it's the people that have been with me for many, many years. Remember when there was change of leadership in the cardiac rehab, and it was extremely, extremely stressful, and there's a big turnover of staff. And we had all been together about 10 years, but this management just really tore us apart. And I can remember living through that, and the immediate effects, there's worry. There was constant worry, the inability to concentrate, negativity. This new manager would come into the gym and she would tell us, she says, I can feel the negativity. Well, we're all thinking, yeah, you're the cause of it, but we all felt it as well. Hasty decisions, nightmares. I didn't have nightmares, but this definitely I can relate to. My body, I just think I did have headaches. I took more Motrin than I've ever taken in my life that year. Muscle tension and pain, breathlessness, skin irritations, heart palpitations, hypertension. Now, I don't know if my blood pressure was affected, but I definitely felt the tension in my body. And emotions. This is where I really felt it, like that loss of confidence and motivation. Our core team was so good, and that core team was actually Linda, was Mary, who's on here, Sharon and Linda, Linda Larson, Trish. We were such a tight core team, and we remained the tight core team. It was just the management that really changed our relationship with our patients. There was definitely irritability and anger and sadness, depression, and anxiety. I suffered all of those. And behavior, either overeating or undereating. I've never underate at any time in my life. Dang it. And I did not smoke, but I did have more wine at the end of the night. And that's just not something I do, but it was like something I needed to just calm down. I had insomnia. So it affected me in a lot of different aspects of my life. And so it made me think about the long-term effects, because this went on for a couple of years under this management. You can have memory disturbances, learning delays, even suicidal thoughts. It can weaken your immune system, give you migraines, weight loss or weight gain, chronic pain, heart disease, digestive problems like IBS. When I think about weakened immune systems, it makes me think of, I didn't get sick, but whenever my kids would come home from college, um, and so any students that are on this webinar, um, they're busting for midterms or for finals, and they come home and then they get like this major sickness. Like they've just been going. The test is over. They've come home and their immune system's just so weak. They spend that week with us, sick in bed. So I can definitely attest to that. Long-term effects of stress with your emotions, definitely mood swings. What about just even depression or PTSD? Anxiety disorders, a sense of loneliness and isolation. And then with behaviors, definitely sleep disorders, substance abuse, sexual dysfunction, anger outbursts, and nervous habits. So we can't knock the effects of what stress can have on our body or our heart. When we think about our heart, stress can zap the energy, wreak havoc on your sleep, and make you feel cranky, forgetful, and out of control. And there's like this chain of events that happens, and these stress hormones are released, and it causes an increase in your breathing and your heart rate and your blood pressure to all go up. And these reactions prepare you to deal with a situation like fight or flight response. So, that's good if it's a fight or flight response. But when it's every day of the week, and there's no let up from that, that's when it's taking its toll on your heart. When stress is constant, your body remains in high gear, off and on for days or weeks at a time. Chronic stress can cause some people to drink too much alcohol or smoke to deal with stress, which can increase your blood pressure and may damage the artery walls. So when I look back at that time frame, I think of, I really looked at other people, because this wasn't just happening to me. This was happening to my core group of professional people. And perception and stress, it made me really kind of I like this statement here. Stress varies in people due to their individual circumstances as well as their perception of events. So it was good to have this group of people with me, and we were all going through this every day that we were together. And I have to say, I wish Linda was on this call, because I really turned to Linda, because the way she managed this whole shit show, lack of a better term, was really with grace and with patience, and with the focus still being on the patients, regardless of what management was saying. And so it made me try to change my perception to, this is what's happening to me. I didn't want that to get in the way of what was the experience was going to be for the patients. And so I took Linda's lead on that, and I think it helped all of us get through it. So considering perception is helpful when assessing our stress. Stress resides neither in the situation nor in the person. It depends on a transaction between the two. So I had to really think about that. And it's true. If you really think about it, it's not just the situation, and it wasn't just in me, it was both. Perception is influenced by many factors, such as our beliefs, our level of pessimism or optimism as well, and our degree of stress hardiness. Stress hardiness means, like what are you bringing what are you bringing with you? What's your baggage? Have you had to deal with a lot of stress so you can manage it? Like how, what kind of strategies can you bring to the table? There's commitment, there's control, and challenge. So finding balance is key, right? In some way, in some form, if it's getting to be too much. I hadn't looked at this lecture in probably about a year, and this picture just made me smile because whatever it is, it's just, I love cats, I love babies, and then there's this beautiful landscape. So boosting happiness and creativity, being happy gives you a better outlook on life, and being happy can be a choice. Take care of yourself and indulge in creative outlets. Take time each day to allow yourself to de-stress. Plan to exercise, plan to eat right. Boy, it's easy to say, isn't it? But sometimes it might be harder to do. But why is this stuff important? Because if you don't take care of yourself, no one else is going to do it for you. And so if we're our own self-manager, we have to be, we deserve to have the highest quality of care. And it starts with the way we treat ourselves. So making that, putting those steps in place so that you are exercising, you're surrounding yourself with positive people.
Amen.
Eating right, all of that really pays off. And you know what? Don't forget to laugh. It alleviates stress, fights off infections, it boosts brain health, it lowers blood pressure, and it improves your mood. Now, let me see if I did bring up, let me see if I can find it. Oh, dang it. I had a YouTube video, but I'm not so good with, Tim, if I want to share another video, do I have to unshare this PowerPoint first?
I think if you hit the stop share and then share the YouTube video if the link's open.
The link is open, so let me see. No, I don't see it.
You can do share your screen, just like your whole screen, and then you can go to the YouTube video.
Okay, so share my screen. Okay, share. Oh, you guys see the video now? I'm sorry. You just see don't forget to laugh?
Yeah.
I would say don't forget to laugh.
Okay. That's not going to work. I'll show you at the end. How about that?
You can send me the link if you have the link to the video, and I can do it for you.
Okay.
Or you can do it at the end if you want.
Oh, wait. Now you are sharing. Can you see the don't forget to laugh?
Yeah, the PowerPoint.
But it's not advancing.
Yeah, it's stuck on that screen.
Okay, so let me just, sorry guys.
No worries. We're all used to Zoom problems, Zoom troubles.
Wait, I want to go here. Okay, here we go. Okay, so did you know it has been estimated that 60 to 90% of all visits to the physician, to your doctor, are stress-related problems. So don't discount the effect it can have on your health. Bless you.
I'm sorry.
Balancing strategies. Okay, like I said, it's been a year since I've done this lecture, and some of this animation, the way some of these are coming in, is just driving me nuts. But life balancing strategies like mindfulness, meditation, affirmations. Affirmations are really quite powerful. Just saying positive things. Breathing techniques, exercise, eating healthy, yoga, and always surround yourself with happy, positive people. So I know you've done this with other lectures. This is a deep breathing technique. It's called belly breathing or diaphragmatic breathing. You guys remember that? Where, you should have one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly. And when you inhale, you want to make sure your chest is not rising, but that you're pushing or forcing your belly out. So let's just try that. So we're going to breathe in for a count of 3 or 4 and push your belly out. So hand on your belly and hand on your chest. So inhale and exhale. Bring your belly in. Okay, inhale again, belly out. And exhale, belly in. Now, if you do it that way, your chest should not be rising, because as adults, we learn to breathe like, if you can see me, you know, like when I take a deep breath, my shoulders go up, my chest rises. And a good relaxation technique is actually this belly breathing. And I don't play an instrument and I'm not a singer, but that is how professional people breathe if they have to play an instrument or that they sing. So it becomes automatic. Babies do this. This is how babies breathe. But as an adult, we learn to use accessory muscles. And if we ever get in trouble using these accessory muscles, like if you can see me, this is someone who's getting into trouble breathing, and this is what they look like. That is going to wear them out, and they're not breathing effectively. In fact, I just got really lightheaded just by doing that. And it's not effective breathing, but belly breathing is. We teach that for people who have any type of lung disease. So it's a good practice to just kind of center yourself. And I know you guys have been exposed to this before. And it takes, if you're not used to belly breathing, it does take practice to do it, but it's worth it. Another stress management technique, and I utilize this a lot, is the 6-second pause. So instead of reacting, you know, when someone's in your face or you're barking at your kids or you're barking at your spouse, before there's any reaction, wait 6 seconds. Just count to yourself. That's 6 seconds. And in that time frame, you may diffuse, you know, give you time to pause and reflect. A lot can happen in 6 seconds. You think 6 seconds, nothing. What is that going to do? But it's enough time to not just have that knee-jerk response. It's gotten me out of trouble because I've got a mouth on me. So it's gotten me out of trouble if I just wait. That's 6 seconds before responding. And of course, movement. So I hope that you guys are still utilizing the Zoom exercise or getting out and walking or doing some form of exercise. That's one thing that's remained constant for me is I've always continued to exercise through the pandemic. And it's been my therapy and it's been a lifesaver. And then there's just ways of being mindful, right? Being present, reminding yourself of what is happening right now, you know, being mindful of it. There's a million apps to help you with mindfulness. If you're, you know, on your phone or even on your computer, there's a million sites that can help you with different stress management techniques that are dealing with guided imagery. You know, there's great apps that can just kind of take you away, plug in your phone, find an app, Calm app, and it will play either a story or maybe it's just sounds of the ocean or sounds of a forest. But it's taking time away from whatever you're doing. And now you're just focusing on yourself and being very mindful. Meditation. Meditation is something that you have to learn as well. Taking a few minutes every day or taking a good chunk of time, a half hour, 45 minutes, and just meditating. I can remember working with Linda Larson, and at lunch, it's like, you know, where's everyone going for lunch? You know, let's eat, you know, let's eat at the picnic tables or where we're going. And Linda never ate with us because that was her time, and she would go meditate. She'd go to her car, she would eat, and then meditate. And there was something to that because she always came back really happy for the afternoon sessions. I mean, that was her time, and it was her way to manage stress, and she wasn't going to give that up. Positive perceptions. Focus on things you can control, because there's a lot we can. And boy, didn't we all learn that over this last year with, gosh, the pandemic, and with the divisiveness of the country and the politics. There's a lot of stuff we can't control, but know what we can and focus on that. But put things in perspective, right? Acceptance and coping. Those are really important concepts to kind of just grasp. Because I've seen people spin out on things that they're not going to have any control over, right? And it's not worth the calories. And I think this is something really important. And it's something over the last couple of years that I've really have put into play. Just every day, there's things that I am grateful for. I don't take life for granted at all. And I just write down, what I am grateful for, because even though, through all of this pandemic, it's just been stressful. Everything is just, so different. But I'm so grateful for so many things. And I know I have so many blessings, and I write it down to make sure that I am aware of that. It really can change your mindset. And I also write down things I enjoy doing for myself and focus on my own self-care. And exercising is one of them, because it's my therapy. It just does too many benefits to even mention. And I won't start my day without, getting out there and doing a good hour of something. And consider your options for managing stress. Avoid the problem solve, manage fight or flight response, or just even revisit the situation later. I mean, we all have options, right? I was talking to one of my patients. I run one of the quit smoking programs at UC Davis, and she was saying she just has the hardest time saying no to family members, and she puts everyone else's problems ahead of her, and she barely has time to even do the classes to help with quitting smoking. And so we talked about this whole slide here, and actually making herself and her health a priority, and prioritize other people's problems if are they more important than your health. And it's just a different perspective. And she really, the bottom line is, if you're not going to take care of yourself, you're not going to be any good to anybody else. So other resources, I talked about the different apps, we have. I mean, there's a million of them. The one I think about is Calm, but I'm not sure if you have to pay for that. That may be a fee at this point because it's so popular. But there's books, there's classes, there's videos. I think this slide is actually from Sharon. So I did not look up the 5-minute vacation, but I would be curious. You can YouTube that one, 5-minute vacation, and see what that one takes you away. But this is what I wanted to end with. If you feel like you really have a lot of stress in your life, it's time to be kind of introspective and kind of think about that. And just name, what are your top 3 stressors? And when you think about those stressors, the next column is what happens to you. Do you get, like chest pain? Do you get angry? Do you get, sad? How does it manifest itself? What physically and mentally and emotionally, how does that stressor manifest itself? And then your action plan is the last column. And what might you do about it? Prioritize, we just went through a bunch of different strategies, and you can kind of think about what would be an effective way to deal with that stressor. And this is kind of a learned way to take action on stress management. It doesn't happen overnight, but if if watching the news and when anything politics comes on, it just gets you angry and it makes you think about the future and whatever, then what you might do is maybe limit news to 10 minutes a day instead of an hour in the morning and an hour at night. Think about things that you can do. Creating an action plan is really a very effective way to help manage your stress. Any thoughts on that?
I have a comment. I have the Calm app, and it is,
Yes.
as
Yes.
apps go, it's expensive. I think
Oh,
it's
it is.
$79 for a year, but it is a great app. I mean, I've been using it like every day, and then when somebody really pisses me off and my blood pressure goes up, I'm using that to get myself calmed down. So I would
Tell me exactly what it does.
Well, it's got all kinds of stuff on there. One of the ones that I use every day is a guided meditation, kind of like Linda Larson does.
Ah, the guided imagery. Yeah.
I thought I would never go for this, but I'm doing it and it helps me. It also has all different kinds of noise or music or whatever you want to call it. It could be the sound of rain, the sound of the ocean. I mean,
Yes.
there must be 20 different kinds of quieting sounds on there. There's a lot of different kinds of music that you can play. So I have not even begun to touch the limits of how much stuff is actually on there.
Jim,
And
tell me again, how much does it cost a year?
I think it was $79 for
Oh.
a year, which is like way more than, I mean, I've paid as much as $3.99 for an app, okay? But this was, and one of my Venugopal's nurses, Martinez, does that ring a bell? I'm trying to think of her first name. She told me it was really a great app.
Okay, good. Good.
And so, and that was about a year ago. So I would recommend it.
Okay. I found my video. I want to leave with this video and then we can circle back and if anyone else has any parting thoughts, but I for sure want everybody to hear this one.
Very clear, great example. Okay. That's gonna make you laugh now, buddy.
Okay, if you are not smiling after looking at that, there's something wrong with you.
How many kids was that? 4?
There's
Or was it 4 times or what?
It was
It was
4,
too many, that's for sure.
and I suspect that doesn't happen very often that they're all laughing at the same time versus crying. But it just made me, it put a smile on my face. And I think taking a few minutes out, getting on YouTube and looking at something that will warm your heart or make you laugh. A lot of positive things come out of laughter. But I want to open it up to you guys. And I'd like to hear, even if there's some students on, because you guys are getting close to finals, I would think. and patients as well, or clients, whatever, however you guys call yourself. But what's your go-to strategy with how do you manage stress? So please unmute yourself and share.
I use music. In fact, I came back an old memory of Candide and Bernstein's Candide. And I haven't seen that in maybe 30 years, but I saw it was on YouTube and wasted 2.5 hours singing along. And it's the music is gorgeous. The lyrics take me places. At the end of it, all of the whatever of the day is wound down and taken to another place.
Wow, great. Thanks, John. Hey, Mary, can you unmute and tell us what your stress management strategy is?
Like I said, listen to music on the radio. I don't like commercials. That just irritates me. So I do the Sac State station and just to calm down that way. And then I do have a puzzle and I write my stories.
Wow. Yeah, I like you got a bunch of strategies. Thanks, Mary.
Yeah.
Tim, what do you do?
What do I do?
Yeah, what's your stress management?
I like to go out on the lake, go for a paddleboard trip, or go do some rock climbing. Just get out of the house, just get
Yeah.
away.
Yeah, thanks. I'm just gonna go across as I see people. Anne, if you don't want to say, you can just say pass.
Oh, no problem. So I'm a full-time student, but I also have a full-time job, and both of those are from home. So what I have to do is I go into my backyard. I'm fortunate enough to have quite a large backyard, and I go and pull up some weeds and just kind of look at what's growing and kind of get some, even if it's raining, go out and do that. And then because I'm a student, I'm able to access the classes that the Well has for fitness, and they're offered via Zoom. So I do a Zoom fitness class. But just something that gets my eyes away from the computer for a while. But the garden, that's like a sanctuary to me. It doesn't matter, even if when it's ugly, just going outside and just touching some earth, and that just kind of brings me back.
Great, thanks, Anne. Leanne? Maybe Leanne's not there. Satalia? Satali. Maybe I'm not saying her name right.
It's
Hello?
Sitlali.
Oh, very good. Yeah, what is your go-to strategy for stress?
I like to do some yoga, and I also like to turn to journaling. That really helps me like sort of unpack everything I'm feeling. I'm more of like a sit down and like I take some time to collect myself and calm down, and then I can go back and focus on whatever schoolwork or other
Yeah.
tasks I need to complete.
That's
Yeah.
very effective. Yeah, great. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Ryan?
When I'm getting stressed, I normally just have to take a breather and get away from whatever's stressing me.
Yeah.
And then normally the way I do that is by walking my dog on the trail
Ah.
near my house. And if
Perfect.
I don't know, I think that just helps me clear up my mind if I'm just in a bad headspace.
Mhm.
Or another thing that helps me is kind of just late night drives to like nowhere.
Oh.
I kind of just drive around on
Yeah.
the freeway and then come back, and then it normally clears up my head.
You know what? That's a win-win. You know, first of all, your dog wins and you win. And I have to say, when the pandemic hit, I had 2 kids at college and they both came home in March, and they stayed till just recently. And both of them would take drives at night just to get out of the house and listen to whatever music they wanted. And we never asked where they went, doesn't matter, but that was a way of getting, just having some alone time as well. Very good. Awesome. Thanks, Ryan. Karen?
I think just getting out in nature, even if it's just into my patio, but being able to look at the different colors and, take a walk, but that nature part.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree. I agree. Thanks, Karen.
Mhm.
Dave? Are you with us, Dave?
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
My
Yes.
internet's really bad, so it may lock up and you might not be able to hear what I have to say.
Just what are your strategies for when you have stress?
Locked up. Okay, real quick, I play my guitar. That helps a lot. And then my pets. I have a couple of cats right now. I used to have a dog. When I was really feeling down, I just go hug my big old dog that I had. And that helped a lot.
That's great. That makes me think about my cat. I'm always looking for my cat. Yep. Awesome. Thanks, Dave. Dixie, are you with us?
Yes, hello. I'm sorry, I'm driving. A way I cope with stress is driving is always good. That's actually why I'm on a drive. I'm like stressing right now. So I decided to leave the house. If I don't want to leave the house, I listen to music. Sometimes I'll just drive mindlessly or drive to a scenic place to walk.
Very good. Thanks, Dixie. And Christine, are you with us? You're on mute if you're trying to talk to us. Or Theodora? Are you with us? You're on mute as well.
Yes, I like to just take a long walk. That clears my head.
Yep, that seems to be the go-to, and we all can pretty much walk. Yep, it's amazing what it can do.
Definitely.
Yeah, thanks, Theodora. And
And
Maria.
thank you.
Yes, for me, walks work a lot, just to go out and like distract my mind from whatever's stressing me. And then also we just got a puppy, and I'm just like starting to get used to him, because before I used to be scared of dogs because I got bit by one when I was small.
Oh.
But now I'm getting used to like being around the dog, and he's really friendly and everything. So I think that's what helps a lot. So like if I'm really stressed, I just go out in the yard and like go pet him. If he hasn't gone on a walk yet, I'll go on a walk with him.
Yes.
So that's been helping a lot. So yeah.
Yeah, especially if he's adorable. It's a puppy.
Yeah, he's super cute.
Oh, awesome. Jim, was there anything else that you wanted to add besides the Calm app that you use for stress?
Another thing that I do is I like quiet piano jazz, and I guess these discs are like old fashioned now, but I'll put one on and listen to it. So that's another way that I have dealt with stress.
Very good. Awesome.
Who are the pianists? Who do you
Yeah,
like?
piano jazz, yeah. I love it.
John was asking, do you have a favorite artist?
Thelonious Monk is probably one of my, Art Tatum, two of my favorites. Oscar Peterson is especially good for quieting me down. Those are the three that pop into my head like immediately.
Very good. Awesome. Anyone else want to share anything? Otherwise, we can wrap this up. I wanted to thank everyone for popping on, saying hello.
Okay, thank you.
Won't be long before we're all together again. That's my hope. It's my wish.
Tim, I have a technology question. It's really dumb.
Sure.
It
Sure
has,
thing.
well, it's just when people are talking about apps and signing up for apps or buying apps, you have to have a smartphone to do that. Like I have a flip phone still. So apps require a smartphone, right?
For the most part, I want to say yes. I don't know of any flip phones that have like an app store.
And that's how people then play these things like at night. If they wanted to listen to Calm or something like that, they would download it to their smartphone and then they would have their smartphone on to play it, right?
Right.
But
Yeah, that's how it
don't
works.
some of them also have websites?
Yeah.
I suspect Calm also has a website that you could just open up on your browser and get the same.
Yeah, they do, because I get ads on the for Calm on my computer screen, and I could click and do this stuff on with the computer as well as the
Awesome.
phone.
Yeah, there's calm.com. You can use your computer, iPad, if you have one.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
Thank you so much, Cari.
Okay,
Thanks.
bye.
Thank you.
Good to see everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.